law concepts in just 5 minutes. Today we will discuss register of charges. Every charge created by the company must be registered with the ROC. ROC maintains a particular of charges. Provisions are contained in section 81. So in respect of every company, ROC will maintain a register of charges, section 81 of the Companies Act. Similarly, every company will also maintain a register of charges covered under section 85 of the Companies Act. So, does it mean that the ROC physically maintains a register or a book in which it records all the particulars of charge? That is not the case. ROC maintains a record, and the record which is available on the MCA portal will be considered as register maintained by ROC. So, the particulars of charges maintained on the MCA portal, you can just visit www.mca.gov.in and you can view the charges registered with ROC. So, particulars of charges maintained on MCA portal shall be presumed to be the register maintained by ROC. This register will be open for inspection by any person of the public on payment of prescribed fees. Similarly, the company will also maintain a register of charges. Provisions are provided in section 85 of the Companies Act. Where will they maintain this register? The register of charges will be maintained at the register office. The company will not only keep or maintain the register of charges, but they will also maintain a copy of the instrument creating a charge. Instrument is nothing but the agreement which you may have entered with the creditor at the time of creation of charge. The register of charge is maintained permanently by the company, whereas a copy of instrument in creating the charge should be maintained for a period of 8 years from the satisfaction of charge. Satisfaction means when you pay off the charge, you will still continue to maintain the instrument creating the charge for a period of 8 years after the date of satisfaction. Now, the register will include particulars of all the charges created as well as the floating charge affecting any property, assets of the company or any of its undertaking, whether in India or outside India. So, every charge must be registered. Entries shall be made for creation, modification and satisfaction of the charge. So, as soon as you create a charge on the asset of the company or property of the company, you will make an entry in the register. Similarly, entries will also be made for modification and satisfaction of the charge. Satisfaction means you have paid off that loan. Entries, whether they are correctly made or not, shall be authenticated by either a director of the company or the secretary of the company or a person authorized by the board. So, they will verify whether the entries have been properly recorded or not. The register, as I already mentioned earlier, will be preserved permanently, whereas the instrument either creating or modifying the charge will be maintained for a period of 8 years, but that 8 years will be calculated from the date of satisfaction of charge. I want to see the register of charges maintained by the company. So, what are the provisions relating to inspection? See, the inspection can be carried out anytime during the business hours of the company. So, let's say, for example, the business hours are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, during this time period, any member, creditor or any other person can inspect the register of charges. In case of member or creditor, they are of the company, you're member of the company, creditor of the company, aap to apne hi aadmi ho. So, you can inspect the register without payment of fees. But it can also be inspected by any other member of the public on payment of prescribed fees. Man, why is this document open to inspection by the public? See, law puts the onus, the burden of inspection on the outsider. We have a constructive notice that outsider must have gone through the register. He is aware whether the charge is created or not on a particular asset before giving loan to the company or before accepting that asset as security. So, the burden lies on the outsider. We assume that the outsider is aware whether the asset is encumbered or not. So, the burden lies on the outsider. Therefore, the outsider, before giving any loan to the company or before accepting the encumbrance, must verify whether whether a charge is created on that asset or not. And how will they verify? By inspecting the register of charges. So, it can be inspected by any person on payment of prescribed fees. See, although the business hours are mentioned over here, I reach office at 9 o'clock and few people are waiting for inspection of the register. I just sat down to have lunch and people are waiting for the inspection of the register. So, law says that yes, you can impose reasonable restriction through the articles on the inspection. So, I can say that the inspection can happen during morning 9 to 12 p.m., between 9 to 12 p.m., and inspection is available between 5 to 6 p.m. Such reasonable restrictions may be imposed, but at least 2 hours must be given for inspection. That window must be for at least 2 hours. You cannot restrict that you can see only for 15 minutes during a day. So reasonable restriction, that is why the word reasonable is very important. So reasonable restrictions can be imposed on inspection. Students, you won't believe that in under 5 minutes, we have discussed Section 81 and 85 of the Companies Act. For more such law concepts, follow me and subscribe to my channel, CA Preeti Agarwal. You can also purchase lectures for CA Inter and CA Foundation by visiting my website, capreetiagarwal.com. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and other social media handles.